Kings 107.5. It's 11:09, and we, of course, are in the book club hour being brought to you by the great folks at Brown and Company. You know the place where you can expect the unexpected? That place there. Well, you guys know that the Ladies Room Book of the Month is Becoming by Michelle Obama, but we are going to put that book down right about now because we're picking up another book. It's called Ballin Outta Control, family, and it's and it's by, Sullivan Phillips. He is actually a son of the soil, but look, when he walked in, I'm like, Sullivan, how tall are you? I'm sorry, that had to be my first question. I mean, like, Sullivan Phillips, you were born to be a basketball player, yes or no?
I was born to be a change agent.
A change agent, love it. But with your height, I was like, okay, How tall are you?
6'6".
6'6". Okay, this 6'6", wow, 6'6". I can't wait to take the picture and be like, look, oh my God. 6'6", Sullivan Phillips is here, family. Like I said, he's a son of the soil, but he resides...
I live in Maryland.
In Maryland?
I live in Maryland.
And how long have you been living in Maryland?
I've lived in Maryland for like probably the last 15, 16 years.
Really?
Right.
Oh, wow.
But I do come home often to...
Do you?
Just keep in touch with the soil.
Of course. Now, home is where? What part of Bermuda did you grow up in?
I grew up in down by Ranges, so I guess it's Spice Hill area.
Okay, Spice Hill area, so Southampton?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was kind of my stomping grounds as growing up.
All right, and who's your people?
All my peoples, usually people from BI, so, you know, the Birches, Francises, people of that nature who I grew up with and kind of have nurtured and been around since I was a young boy.
Okay.
So those are the people pretty much who I hang with now, the same crew.
I just wanted to know who you wanted to shout out to and who's your people and stuff like that. That's all. But look, you guys, I've got his book in my hand. It's called Ballin Outta Control. Actually, I'm going to let you, Sullivan, do the honors of reading the back of the book for everybody. And then we'll get into more about the book itself.
I think I'm a little nervous, but I'll take a shot at it.
You take a shot at it, okay.
Right, cool.
All right, if you need my help, just let me know. I'm good like that.
Ballin' Outta Control, a phrase typically coined to describe those who live in a reckless manner financially. This story is one that echoes this very phrase, along with many other lessons that many today just don't comprehend. Take a journey with a young man who fought daily to escape the prison of insecurities that threatened his very identity. This journey was also wrought with demons that encaged him, almost causing literal death. The wealth, prestige, fame were only temporary. However, through this process, the realization that God can only fill the void and change the trajectory of life. Sullivan Phillips' story is an amazing journey that epitomizes that sometimes you must truly be lost in order to find your way.
Thank you. Love it. Lost. My goodness. You said some words that I definitely want to talk about. Insecurities, demons, death. These are things that our young men are constantly, dealing with. I was so happy to see that they've started a new redemption farm here in Bermuda, which is really good.
Yes.
Talk about your beginnings and talk about that insecurity that men sometimes don't want to talk about.
Absolutely. So it started for me in 5th grade. Not only the fact that I had a terrible stigmatism and I thought I was dyslexic.
Oh, wow.
Just the fact that I moved from the States to Bermuda around 5th grade.
Okay.
So now you're integrating you're just integrating into a whole new place.
Right.
You don't really speak the language because I didn't speak with the accent like everybody. They play football, cricket, while I played basketball and baseball.
Wow.
So instantly you're outside and you're trying to fit in. So from that point on, you're constantly trying to fit in.
Right.
And, if you don't find yourself or kind of adjust to the space,
right,
you're constantly chasing that illusion of who am I.
Wow. So who are you now? What would you say to young men that are going through what you went through then? Like the time period. How long does it take to find out who you are?
I don't think there's a straightforward answer to it, to be honest.
Okay.
I think every case is independent. For me personally, I know that it took me a while to gather myself. It wasn't just identity of coming to Bermuda. It was identity of, I don't have a close relationship with my father.
Wow.
So there were multiple things that kind of had me in a space of trying to figure out who I was.
Mm-hmm.
But to any person who's here, I would say one of the biggest advice I would give is, everybody says the grass is greener on the other side, right?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I definitely know. I'm sorry.
Right? No, you're fine. Everybody says the grass is greener
Right.
on the other side. I believe it's turf.
Oh, okay.
And my thinking is, the grass that you have, if you water it and you take care of it, all the different things and the capabilities that the Creator's given to you, it's fine. But what happens with turf once it lives out its purpose? It's usually thrown away.
It's artificial, you guys. So you want what's genuine. I'm on that same page there, Sullivan. I'm loving this for sure. Look, okay, so I know you were here in Bermuda, and then when did you leave?
I left Bermuda, but I actually got kicked out of school.
Okay.
All you guys behave yourself in school.
Okay.
There are penalties out there. I got kicked out when I was in 11th grade. Basically,
and what school did you go to?
I went to Bermuda Institute.
Oh, that's a great school too.
It's a very good school.
Oh,
but
they don't play.
No. Clearly, I got kicked out. So
clearly.
it's not a game. But I got kicked out when I was in 11th grade.
Wow.
Basically,
so if I'm correct, 11th grade, you only had that 1 year left.
Pretty much.
Okay, Sullivan. Okay.
So you get kicked out, and now it's a transition period again. So now you're going to a new space, a new school, and you have to pretty much evolve again and find out.
So what new school did you go attend?
I went to a school called Garden State Academy. It's a school in New Jersey.
Okay.
So pretty much I went there. My parents were like, okay, this is the next spot for you. And pretty much you're forced to evolve again.
Wow. What would you say is the hardest part about going to a new school and trying to fit in?
Being yourself versus being who everybody else is around you.
Look at that.
Because look at it, like, especially for people nowadays, I tell my kids all the time, if you look at your phone right here, if it's in closed screen, no lighting, whatever, not, there's a faint image of you.
Okay.
And that's what social media and everything teaches us now. Well, our young people now, this is like you, who it is, but it's really not who you are.
That's it.
And so that for me is like one of the biggest things for me. It's just like you're in this space and you're like, well, this is what my parents taught me.
Right.
But this is really cool.
Oh, got you.
So, but like, who am I? And now you have to be true to either one side or the other.
Absolutely. All right, family, we're going to come back with more. Again, we've got Sullivan Phillips, Bermuda's own, here in the studio. He's back for a bit, family. And I have to remind you, he's got a book signing coming up this evening, actually. It's from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Brown & Company.
Yes, ma'am.
Want to make sure I have the right time. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. this evening. You guys, his book is called Ballin Outta Control. When we come back, we're going to find out who exactly is this book for, and a couple of other questions I got for him. So keep it here. It's Hot 107.5 Book Club Hour.